Let's start with the basics. Objects equality. Primitives like strings and numbers are compared by their values, while objects are compared by their references, which means it compares whether two objects are referring to the same location in memory or not. To check the equality of two objects, we should compare the values of their respective properties. Let's compare these three objects. This comes with some limitations. If one of the property values is itself an object, if one of the property values is nan, which is the only value in JavaScript that is not equal to itself, if one object has a property with value undefined, while another object doesn't have the property, which will evaluates as undefined, thus making the equality true. This problem can be solved by using the method hasOwnProperty. False falses. Which of these statements evaluates as false? Exactly. All of them evaluates as true. All kinds of objects, including arrays, even without properties. Strings with a length greater than 0. All of them evaluates as true. False, null, undefined, 0, nan are evaluated as false. Evaluates to true versus equals true. Are these statements true? It evaluates to false. Let me explain. Although an empty object or array both evaluates as true in a Boolean context, when we use double equal, some implicit coercion is performed. Since true and an empty object don't have the same type, JavaScript will convert them to numbers in order to compare. True is always converted to 1. For empty object, JavaScript will try to convert it by using to primitive. Since it's not a primitive, the method toString will be used, and we will get an empty string. The empty string will then be converted to 0. We will end up comparing 0 and 1, which is obviously false. Arguments and call. How to determine if the value 5 is passed as an argument to a function. To answer this question, we are gonna need the variable arguments. Arguments is a local variable available inside all functions that provides a collection of all the arguments passed to the function. Arguments, it's not totally an array. It has the property length, but doesn't have the methods like for each or index of. So we should convert arguments to an array by calling slice method on an array and pass arguments. Then we use the method index of to know if 5 is passed as argument. Warning, don't name any argument or local variable as arguments. This will override built-in arguments object. Now let's kick it up a notch. A tricky JavaScript interview question asked by Google and Amazon. What is the output of this code? Index equal 4, element is undefined, printed 4 times. The reason for this is because the setTimeout function creates a function that has access to its outer scope, which is the loop that contains the index I. After 3 seconds go by, the function is executed, and it prints out the value of I, which at the end of the loop is at 4. 4 does not exist, which is why we get undefined. Okay, that's all for this video guys. See you in the next part. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, like if you care.